Beat block. We've all been there before. You know, the moment when you try to make a beat and it comes out trash. But there is hope. Let's talk about today.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, I know a lot of y'all have been looking to get some new equipment for your studio. And guess what? All you got to do is click my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com right now. Zounds.com has a whole bunch of stuff on the site. And to make things better, they have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning you can order it, they'll ship it to you, and you can just make monthly installments. All you need is a credit or debit card hooked to the account. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can get right now if you click on that link in the description and head over to Zounds.com today. All right, you guys know how much I rock with analog cases because they make the best cases on the market to protect your gear. Y'all knew that already, right? But if you are a musician that's on the go, you might want to check out this new X Pro Performance Surface. Now, you don't have to worry about it because this thing is made of metal. It is a nice size and you can fit a lot of gear on it. All you need is your existing keyboard stand. This thing goes right on top of it and it has adjustable locks to make sure this thing stays secure. And the cool thing about it is it has 6 slots on here for your cable management. That way your cables won't be all over the place. And to make sure that the surface is protected, it comes with its own case as well. So if you need a professional performance stand while you're on the go, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link in the description and head over to Analog Cases and check out the X Pro right now. All right, so we have all been through beat block. I know I go through it at least a couple times throughout the year. I don't know about how frequent you guys go through it, but I go through it a lot because basically, to me, what beat block is that ceiling. You hit that ceiling and then you have to go over that next layer to get to where you need to go. That's what I feel beat block is. It's basically a ceiling that you hit to where now you got to be innovative and you got to try new things to get over that hump. Sometimes it could be just a melody thing. Sometimes it could be a drum thing. Sometimes it could be a way how we chop up the samples. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. It could be life issues. It could be personal issues. It could be a whole bunch of things that get you into this rut. But there is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and you will make it out. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking if you have beat block, the first thing you need to do is just stop. Give your mind a rest. Give it a break. Nah, not me. I don't feel that way. I think when you go through beat block, I think that is the perfect time for you to experiment and for you to learn as well. Like say, for instance, me, when I go through beat block, a lot of times it's because of my melodies. Like all my melodies and everything are sounding the same. And occasionally, sometimes it's like even with the drums, like all my bass lines are sound the same. I'll be doing the same 808 stuff. Everything will sound the same because I hit that ceiling. I hit my ceiling of what I can create. And now that I hit that ceiling, the only way for me to get over that is for me to experiment and try new things. Now, the experiment is not going to be easy. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be real ugly sometimes. I mean, real ugly. But while you're in this experimental mode, you're learning so much more. You're learning new chords. You're learning new ways to use drums. You're learning new sounds. You're learning a lot of stuff. And then over time, you kind of put all of that together with all of the older stuff that you knew. And then most of the times, you know, you kind of find your way out of it. But there is a thing called deep beat block. And this is when you tried everything. You tried the new chords. You tried the new drums, the new drum patterns. You tried everything and you still can't get out of that shell. When it gets that far, usually what I do is I try to find somebody who I can sit in with and just soak up their energy. A lot of times you can break that beat block with just being around a different type of energy. You see, a lot of us, we'll sit here in the studio and try to make all the beats and do everything ourselves. And at that moment, we really don't have anybody to help us out. We're just there by ourselves in our little cubbyhole, doing what we do by ourselves. And I'm like that a lot. But then I realize When I would go to my studio and I would see some of my younger producers in there, they'll be in there like 2, 3, or 4 deep, and they'll be working on the beat together, and everybody's kind of bouncing ideas, and they're coming up with different stuff because now you have different opinions going on a beat, and then everybody's kind of soaking up the energy, and they're making beat after beat after beat after beat. And most of it is coming out really dope. The atmosphere is good, everybody's having a good time, and the beats are coming out great as well. And then when I'm in there, I get inspired to say, hey, whoa, you know, maybe this little chord pattern will go on here, or maybe this will happen. And it's like instantaneously, it's like, man, that's what I needed. I needed to be around some other people. Now, I know it's kind of hard sometimes because I know some of you guys have to work. I know some of you guys have families. I know y'all might be living maybe in a smaller city where there's not that many producers or nothing like that. But there still is ways to combat that. Now, if you're not living in a certain place like that, one thing I will say is go ahead and listen to some of your favorite producers. Listen to some of the top producers right now and listen to what they're doing. Now, one thing I did notice with a lot of producers that are having this beat block is they don't listen to nobody else. And it's crazy because you'll ask a lot of producers that are going through beat block, and I'll be like, hey, yo, so who have you been listening to, you know what I'm saying, like producer-wise? And a lot of them be like, I don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I listen to my own stuff. That's what I do. I don't listen to nobody because I don't want to take from nobody's styles and stuff like that. I feel you on that. But at the same token, if you're going through this situation, a lot of times you might need to put your ear on something else instead of your stuff, because obviously the stuff that you're doing right now ain't working, or at least you feel it's not working. When I have situations like that and I don't feel like going anywhere, I'll pull up some producer vlogs and stuff like that and listen to what these guys are doing. I'll go right here on YouTube and pull up a young producer and watch him make some incredible stuff, and it gets me inspired to make something incredible as well. And oh, don't get me started about the tutorials now. There's a lot of great tutorials with a lot of dope producers giving out some really good advice, even when you're stuck at making melodies or even when you're doing your drums. So it's actually okay to learn from other people. It doesn't just have to be all about you. I know you don't want to bite anybody's style. I know you don't want to be influenced by what somebody else is doing. But man, if you need help, go out and seek it. For real, for real. Another thing is, when you can get the time, try to travel. Try to go further than where you're at. If you're near a major city and they have like producer battles or other stuff like that, try to go there and be around like-minded people to open up your mind to new ideas and to new things. There's nothing wrong with going around other producers and hearing what they're doing and seeing where the bar is. Because a lot of times you might be in beat block, but it might not be as bad as what you think. Because sometimes you may set the bar really high, and your bar may even be higher than other people who are not experiencing beat block. You kind of get what I'm saying? It's like you kind of putting added pressure on yourself. And that's pretty much the last thing. Sometimes you're putting so much pressure on yourself that you feel like you're in beat block. And I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, this melody is trash. Oh, my drums are trash. This is trash. That is trash. Everything is trash. What I want to do? Because you hit your ceiling does not mean that the beat is trash. Because to be totally honest, there's a lot of beats that I thought were trash. I go through like 4 or 5 months of like, these beats are all trash. What I'm gonna do with them? But I would still bounce them down. And then lo and behold, I'll be playing beats for an artist, and then I'll get to that particular beat, then I'll play it for like 2 seconds and I'll stop it and be like, nah, you don't want that one. And then the artist will be like, yo, play that one. And I'll play it, and the artist will be like, that's it. That's the one. And I'm sitting there like, what? No, happens more than what you think. But since I set that bar so high for myself, I didn't notice that maybe I was setting it a little too high. Nah, you can't never set the bar too high for yourself. You always want to strive for excellence. Never mind what I just said right there. But either way, if you are experiencing some form of beat block, just use that as a learning moment. Try new things, go places, see where your bar is set at. See where your level is at with other producers. And then sometimes it might not be as bad as what you really think. Or sometimes it could be really bad. But if you can't seem to get yourself out of it, try a few of the things I said, and maybe you might get yourself out of it. Hopefully sooner than later. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.